podcast for 2023.
Yeah,
Woo-hoo!
We're killing it, dude. We're a real podcast now.
I feel like we should do the cliche thing and share one of our New Year's resolutions. Because, first podcast of the new year.
Yeah,
Scout,
sure.
Go first.
I have resolved to learn ethical hacking. I've been watching a ton of videos lately and starting to do a bunch of actual labs and stuff. And I actually am trying to get practice, and I would like to do some work ethical hacking at some point. So I think I'm going to actually learn to hack.
I was going to say, when I hear ethical hacking, I know this is not what you mean, but I think of the people who are paid to break into websites and then tell people this is how I did it.
No, that is exactly what I mean.
Okay.
That's what I would like to do. Yeah. I would also like to break into physical premises too. I think that, so there's several different types of ethical hacking that you can do. App testing is one where you're just fucking with the way a mobile app works or whatever, or an app on a computer works. And that seems fun, and that will be valuable, and I'm going to learn that, but that's not what I really want to do. What I'd really love to do is breaking into businesses physically and installing something that gives you access to a network, and then being able to use that network to do stuff further, and basically fully, with their permission and everything, and laid out in the contract, and with clear scope of what you're supposed to be doing. But yeah, that's eventually what I'd like to be doing, I think. Full-on red teaming.
He just wants some guy. He wants some guy to be yelling at him when he's running into a building. Go, 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 go.
Exactly, dude.
He wants to have very clear instructions of, all right, I'm going in, running left, diving behind a couch, putting a USB chip into this computer.
I just want to listen to the James Bond theme while I get to go to work and feel that adrenaline rush, sneaking around. Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
No, it's Scout.
That can be my hacker name, my little hacker tag. So yeah, learn hacking. That's my New Year's resolution. Chris, what about you?
I think I'm just gonna. It's not really a resolution. It's more of a lifestyle change. Is to get back.
I'm gonna eat a lot of potato chips.
That is not the change I was thinking of, but good guess. 2 more to go. I think to regain some of my healthier lifestyle choices, diet choices. So I know that's very cliche, but it's not one thing. It's not I'm going to give up chocolate because I really don't care much about chocolate, but it's kind of a whole lifestyle. Returning back to form.
Hell yeah. When
Yeah.
you said for a second, when you said regaining, I was like, is he about to say regain weight? Fuck your New Year's resolution.
I'm
doing the opposite. Chips. Yeah, I'm doing the opposite of what everybody does.
We're good, yeah. All right, Walker. New Year's resolution, sir.
I'm trying. I don't know. I didn't want to make a ton and disappoint myself every year. So
you could also totally lie, and we would never know.
Yeah, that's true. I like to be honest with our listeners. Share a little insight into my life and my goals.
Okay.
Pretty simple one though is we actually have a book club, which if you're interested in joining, hit me up.
Yeah, actually,
my goal is
starting with Jurassic Park.
Yeah, my goal is to actually read all of the books that are on our. Everybody picked 2 books so far, and we're going to try to read all of them by the end of the year. So I think we'll have 12. I think we added another person, so we'll have 14, I guess. But totally doable, I think.
Yep, I'm in.
My other one is actually to spend a little bit. I want to spend at least 30 minutes a day, 30 to an hour every day, practicing a musical instrument. I'd like to learn. I have a trumpet that I know how to play. I just don't play it a lot, and I'd like to get better at it. And I also have my dad's banjo that I would love to learn how to play. So
dude.
Yeah, I'd like to dedicate 30 minutes or so, an hour every day of the year that I'm able to, and with instruments to practice.
Nice.
If you
those are two relatively simple ones, I think I can do.
If you put a little time into that banjo, I would love to learn some bluegrass to play with you. I think that would be really fun to just jam some bluegrass. Chris, you can come out in the summer and we'll get you on the washboard or something.
The gut bucket.
What the fuck was that?
Dude, that's good goals. Good goals, gentlemen.
Yeah. I didn't want to go with the I also would like to be healthier and keep a good weight like everybody else, but I decided not to make that like a goal. Like, my other ones are like I'm gonna actually try to focus and make that happen. Hopefully that other stuff will fall into place.
I mean, they have to be realistic, have to be attainable. Yeah, realistic, attainable goals.
A SMART goal.
Yeah.
Specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely.
I'm having flashbacks now.
Yeah. It's a good system, man. It really helps you like pick a goal that's good for you, I think. Like
that is specific, measurable, achievable.
Well, I don't know. I mean, because when a lot of people make goals, they don't have some of those aspects, which makes them harder for them to actually meet, which and then makes them more likely to fail.
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah, definitely don't set yourself up for failure. Yeah.
So smart goals, people. Make your New Year's resolutions smart.
Maybe I should map out my goal a little bit. Maybe like map out a timeline. That's not a bad idea.
What was yours?
So, I wanted to learn more like ethical
how to
hacking.
hack. Okay, I kind of I cut out and came back in
you got
while you were explaining that.
Yeah.
It appears my internet's fixed though. The videos
You're
working
welcome.
and everything.
I did that. I hacked it.
I would love it if.
But you didn't tell them how you did it, so it's not ethical.
I would love it if when I had left and I watched the video, you're like, "Oh, I'm gonna hack into his IP here and figure out what's going on." And, all right, I think I'm bringing him back in now.
Stereotypical typing noises. Typing noises. Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Totally unrealistic.
Science bitch couldn't even make I more smarter.
But that's probably more of the reality of the situation. Yeah.
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 I definitely did it. Just trust that. I don't want to spoil any secrets.
You know what's great about saying our resolutions on this podcast too is this is out there. It's people can really check you. Hey man, your goal was
did you do it?
This
How's
was
that
your
banjo
goal.
coming?
Yeah,
dude, I would be so stoked if our listeners emailed in 4 months or something. Hey, how's that?
Hold me
how's
accountable.
The hacking going, dude?
Yeah.
How's that banjo coming? How's that lifestyle positivity going?
Yeah. They're gonna be like, Chris, your tree's still up in the back. What's up? It's July.
It's July, dude.
You're gonna be like, it's Christmas in July. It's our third holiday. We celebrate.
I like the cookies.
So interesting things that you brought up Christmas again. I've actually been invited for the very first time on Saturday to a 12th night party.
Ooh.
Is this a religious party or is it like a person's house?
No. It's at somebody's house. So 12th night, 12th day of Christmas.
Yeah.
So start on December 25th plus 12. Technically, I believe it's Thursday. His party is going to be on Friday. So
cool.
In the religious calendar, Christian religious calendar, this Friday is Epiphany, which officially ends Christmas season. So the 12th day of Christmas would be Thursday. So yeah, there's a lot of interesting traditions around the world. Like probably you may have heard of a king cake, like the New Orleans, Louisiana. Find the baby, and that kind of thing.
Find the baby.
There's a baby in a cake.
The bacon.
Yes. Hence the king cake. So it's like a New Orleans French Creole Cajun tradition.
You telling me they're baking babies in cakes?
Pro tip: not a real baby, but a little figurine of a baby. And then
too bad.
And then, there's the same kind of thing in Mexican, so on and so forth. And then, everybody eats the cake, and then if your piece has the king, the baby in it, I forget, it's supposed to be like good luck, something like that.
Is it supposed to be like a baby Jesus?
Yes, hence the name king cake.
The king,
yep.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. What happens if you get it? Is that like good luck for the year or something?
I think I think it varies. exactly what your reward is, but yeah. Yeah.
Well, good luck. I hope you get it if they do it.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's some places that don't have king cake. You just kind of sort of have a party, or you could do chalking the doors. Another one. So
what's that?
If they don't have a king cake, you should just talk about the whole party how they don't have king cake. Man,
this would be great if we had a king cake.
Explain the history of it and complain.
Knowing
about why
these
it's not
people,
there.
they'll probably have a few. So.
Nice. Well, good luck. I hope you get.
Is it who I think it is?
No, I'll report
back. Is it a family I know? No. Okay.
I'll
we don't
report
need
back
to talk
later.
about that. Yeah. Cool, dude. Well,
yeah.
That's interesting. Thanks for sharing that stuff.
Yeah,
I
that's
definitely
cool.
don't know much about that kind of,
yeah,
the additional things beyond what the standard knowledge is with Christmas, you know?
Dude, it would be fun some year to celebrate, all the winter holidays throughout the holidays, you know? And, you don't have to go all out with everything, but just, pay a little homage to each thing. That would be cool. There's probably a ton. I imagine, deep winter is a time that a lot of people were like, fuck this, we need a holiday, you know?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Especially in northern European climates.
Yeah.
You know, where you have the dreariness and the cold and the darkness.
You're eating into your food stores and blah, blah,
Right.
blah.
It's
Famine
freezing
is
cold.
upon you.
Right, it's
Yeah.
freezing cold, there's no sun, there's no green, blah, 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 blah.
Have
Merry
a party.
Christmas!
Merry Christmas! Or Yule, or whatever you want to call it.
Nice. Yeah, well, let's see. I got a couple of interesting topics that I thought maybe we could discuss.
Heck yeah.
Let's see. I'll let you guys pick. Would you rather hear about Point Nemo, the most remote location on the entire planet, or would you guys like to discuss what caused the Bronze Age collapse?
Ooh. I'm pretty into the Bronze Age
Some
thing.
interesting topics, yeah.
The
What
Bronze
do you
Age
know about
was-
it? What do you know about it?
I don't know
anything?
much. Yeah, did you look up anything about it?
Yeah, I got
gonna
some
have to
stuff
brush
here.
up, but I have a little. Is this the Sea People?
That is.
Are we talking about the Sea Peoples?
So one of the interesting things about the Bronze Age is that there's there's not a lot we know about exactly how it happened, how it all collapsed. So that leads itself to a lot of interesting theories about what was going on. But my understanding is, at the time, this was what was it, 1100 to 1200, the 12th century? Yeah. So
BC?
Yeah.
Yeah, BC.
So there was actually a pretty connected civilization along, Europe and the Middle East and Africa. They had, trade routes going everywhere, pretty connected society. There was a lot of, different written languages being done and stuff about, histories. And then all of a sudden, it all just collapsed. And, all of the, writing of the histories stopped for, hundreds of years. And, there's just not a lot of information about, what exactly caused it. And it's just, it's interesting. There's a lot of unknowns.
Can I interrupt?
Yeah, you're the history teacher. I would definitely be interested in what you have to say.
I would
Chris
say
is just it's bullshit. It's bullshit. The Bronze Age is still here.
What I would say is this: there is right on Netflix right now the miniseries called Ancient Apocalypse, and it's the British historian Graham Hancock. And
I'm familiar with this.
He is a very divisive figure.
He's a controversial person
in
the field of archaeology.
Right? Yeah, and
he himself does not have any archaeological education. He's just a
journalist.
That's why.
That's why I say he's very divisive, and I've read a lot of what he claims. I've read a lot of the people who say it's complete bullshit, blah blah blah, and What gives his claims, not necessarily him himself, but what gives his claims at least a little bit of credibility is that at least it appears, I could be wrong, but at least it appears that the professional field of archaeology, they really don't like debating him. And I don't know if it's because they just think he's stupid.
I think it's that they
What's his theory?
I haven't looked into it. Basically, his theory is, at the end of the day, is that there was an intelligent civilization in the way distant history, or aliens came and gifted us like this technology that helped advance human society. He has a lot of weird theories.
So I have a synopsis ready. So the synopsis for Ancient Apocalypse, which is what I'm reading because I wasn't prepared.
Yeah.
It says, in this series...
Have you watched this? Are you a fan, Chris?
No, but I kind of want to, just for entertainment value.
Okay.
In this series, Hancock argues that an advanced Ice Age civilization was destroyed in a cataclysm, but that its survivors introduced agriculture, monumental architecture, and astronomy to hunter-gatherers throughout the world. He attempts to show how several ancient monuments are evidence of this, and claims that archaeologists are ignoring or covering up this alleged evidence. These ideas incorporate ideas from the Comet Research Group, including the controversial Younger Dryas impact hypothesis, which attributes climate change at the end of the Pleistocene to a massive meteor bombardment. So I think that's pretty close, kind of, sort of. I mean, the Bronze Age collapse happened, but it's like why and what the consequences, I guess you could say, of that were, is where he kind of comes in and says that these people, whether that's like where the Atlantis thing comes along from, the sea people, as Scott was alluding to, or not, but that Hancock would say then these people then went out, spread around the world, and then introduced agriculture to Mesopotamia, Egypt, Indus River Valley, China, and so on, throughout the world, because that's where agriculture started. So, from a historical true standpoint. So
I think I think the problem with this guy, like, all right, for the record, I've known about Graham Hancock for over a decade. He's been a friend of he's been on Joe Rogan's podcast a lot.
Yes.
And
real quick.
No, hold on, let me
question.
finish.
I got a question.
What? All right, what?
Is he the guy that's in that has like the frizzy hair and is like aliens did it? Is this that guy? Or is this a different guy.
Okay.
Different guy. This guy's British.
Let me look him up. Okay.
Real British.
Sorry, go ahead.
He's been on Joe Rogan's podcast a bunch, and I've listened. His theories are really interesting. And like, I'll always, even if I think a theory is nonsense, I'll listen. They can still be interesting and fun to hear. But yeah, I think he just kind of my problem with him is he makes some leaps in connecting the evidence to what he thinks happened. Like, he's making quite a few assumptions. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, well, if we can't explain it, that must mean that a advanced technological civilization. He kind of just makes a lot of bold jumps, I think, in the logic without having the evidence to prove what he's saying. Not that the theories aren't interesting or that there may be the evidence someday to prove it, but I think the certainty with which he says this is I don't know. So it can be problematic. I also think it's valuable to a person like him questioning because archaeology, there's all these people out there. They probably spent their entire lives and careers digging and putting out stuff about specific history or theories, and they jeopardize their entire life's work if they entertain these theories that say everything that they've come up with is bullshit, basically.
And that's what kind of gives me pause about him is that it seems like, and I could be wrong, it seems like the professional archaeological field kind of just is we're not debating you. This is true. This is it. Done. Sealed.
Yeah, it almost in a way...
Rather than saying, here's why you're wrong. Here's why you're a dumbass.
Yeah, they almost feed into all of his, because a lot of his fans are extremely uneducated people that are not going to, do any additional research. And, the second they hear any, they're going to be oh, that's what happened. And so,
it's a cover-up.
By those people not debating him, they almost, in a way, validate those conspiracy theorists' thoughts of, oh, yeah, of course mainstream archaeology doesn't want to debate the guy, Right. But I think there's, a lot more reasons than that, yeah.
Yes, that's what kind of gives me pause, and I think you're right, Walker, that kind of lends him...
I will also say there is a lot of archaeologists who have come out on YouTube channels and said, "Hey, I'll debate you," and he won't do it.
Well, right.
It's kind of a crock of shit that nobody will debate him.
Hold on. hold on. Also, it's not necessarily up to the whole field. Like, if somebody came out and was like, I can disprove Einstein's theories, we wouldn't have a bunch of top physicists being like, cool, I got to debate you about it. We'd be like, no, write a couple papers and prove it. Like, publish it in some journals and we'll see.
Yeah, that is the process of like scientific debate and like finding out that is the process, I would argue.
That's what I'm saying.
So if he's not getting into peer-reviewed journals, there's a reason why. It's because the scientific community is like, no, we don't. This does not stand rigor.
I tend to agree with you. This guy is, I think, mostly full of shit.
If you want to topple science, you have to have astounding proof. Astounding claims require astounding proof.
And like I said at the beginning, he has no education in archaeology.
Right.
His background is as a journalist, and like he writes books. That's all. Yeah. That's like what he's. So, you know.
I just want to point out that fallacy that like saying like no one's going to like debate him. That's not inherently, that doesn't validate him. Right. It like suggests that like he may not be worth debating. Like. If I like claimed like I can create nuclear fission out of water with no waste byproducts, there's no actual nuclear scientist that's going to come down and be like, yeah, let's talk about it, because they know it's not within the realm of debate.
Well, I would argue that when it gets to a level of where this guy's at, it does become something that should be, because he has literally a TV show that's reaching millions of people. Okay. Nobody's challenging these ideas. Like, people are like, you know, archaeologists are saying, yeah, that's bullshit. But then when it's like debate him, like, either he won't. I've definitely like seen archaeologists who say, I will debate you on all of this, and like it hasn't happened yet. So I don't believe when he says that nobody will debate me. But yeah, Graham Hancock is an interesting guy, and like I said, I still find the theories are still interesting, and like I wouldn't say that they're necessarily not true. He just doesn't have enough evidence to be like, you know, I think is boldly claiming some of the things that he claims.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Yeah. I guess we were talking about the Bronze Age.
I was going to say, we got into this guy. I'm interested also in talking about the Bronze Age, and like the actual literature around it is fascinating. Like, what the fuck are the sea peoples and shit, you know? But anyways, Walker, what were you saying?
Just that, like, I think it was a good. It made sense to bring him up because the Bronze Age, you know, there is so much unknown about it because the written. Part of the interesting thing about it is all this written history just kind of like stopped happening. And there's all these, like, you know, all these written languages that literally just stopped and were never done again after that. And there's hundreds of years where there's just missing gaps, and, like, when before that there was being recorded. It's just very, like, why, you know?
Have you ever heard of the Greek work? I think it's called the Anabasis. Chris, have you ever heard of that? Or Walker?
No.
It's written by Xenophon, who was like a mercenary. He was a professional soldier. He was like a general or something, and then he became a mercenary, I guess. They became like a mercenary kind of battalion or whatever. And so they go to war in this far-off land and like get transported thousands of miles or whatever. And then after the war's over, he's stuck with this like mercenary group of, I think Greek soldiers. And they are like decide to go home, and it's about their like journey home and all the trials and travails they've faced.
Isn't this the Odyssey?
No.
This sounds exactly like the Odyssey.
I imagine it. I don't know if it's
like it's just hilarious. They're on their way home and they face a lot of trials and tribulations.
So they march. So first of all, this one's a march. It's a march and blah blah blah. But one of the scenes is they come upon an ancient Babylonian city or something. I forget what city it is, but it's like they describe like they come into this city ready for battle, and they're like ready for what the hell ever may happen, and it's just like completely empty, and it's them like marveling and kind of like being in horror at like what the fuck happened here. Like there's nobody here anymore. Society just collapsed.
Yeah, it's interesting. Do you guys want to hear about some of the theories of
the
Bronze Age? Let's see. This article is what caused the Bronze Age collapse. 5 theories. Fuck it, read the intro. In the 12th century BC, the Bronze Age civilization in the Mediterranean was suddenly extinguished. What caused this? There was a thriving ancient Mediterranean world that collapsed into darkness. The early Dark Age was international in nature, as multiple major powers across the Mediterranean and Near East were suddenly extinguished. Many theories developed as to the devastating societal collapse. All right. The Sea People is the first one. The Sea People. This is the most popular theory on our list. The Sea People have captivated people's imaginations for centuries. During the 19th century, a mysterious set of inscriptions were found at the Egyptian temples of Medinet Habu and Karnak, dating to the late Bronze Age. These inscriptions describe an enigmatic band of warriors who set upon Egypt, embarking on raids along the Nile Delta. Although they are specifically mentioned in the context of the late Bronze Age Egypt, these raiders have since been blamed for the Bronze Age collapse itself on the grounds that they may have swept across the Mediterranean, leaving a massive wave of devastation in their wake. One particular inscription states, "No land could stand before their arms. From Hatti, Kode, Karshemish, Arzwa, Alicia, and on, being cut off and destroyed one at a time." And that was written by Medinet Habu relief in the 12th century. Corroborating evidence for the destructive power of this band has emerged in the form of letters from the late Bronze Age city of Ugarit in Syria, which mentions the presence of seaborne raiders off the coast. That's Locating the origin of this motley band has been difficult, and to this day there are many theories attached to each of the individual names on the list. The written evidence simply describes these invaders as coming from the sea or from islands, but it gives little information as to locate them. With very little... Yeah, what?
I was just going to say, I'm going to kick you a cool conspiracy theory if you want to buy something. I got something.
Is this something you're making up, or is this like something you just looked up?
Now.
Okay.
The Sea People are Vikings. I'm going to pitch you that
Vikings?
The Sea People are Vikings. Yeah. And that the reason they were able to conquer everybody is because they discovered iron. And I'm basing that on no evidence and no research. But it fucking happened that way.
So, do you want to hear what the theories are about the origins of the Sea People?
No, I do not. And I will debate any actual archaeologist on this.
Okay, well, I guess we'll see you guys next week then.
Yeah, please tell me more. Please tell me more.
All right, there are many theories about the origins of the Sea People. Too many to list. All right. Some scholars have convincingly linked some of the names in the inscriptions to various locations in Asia Minor and the Levant, suggesting that the Sea Peoples were a multi-ethnic coalition of raiders from many nations. Other historians place them even further, connecting the Sea People with tribes from the region of Central Europe, which was also experiencing a major upheaval during this period. In this particular theory, refugees from the north pushed down into the Mediterranean basin, raiding as they went.
I wonder if this could be related to the horse peoples at all, like the people of the plains, like the... Who came before the Mongols? The Tatars?
I have no idea.
The Sardinians? Sorry. Anyways,
I'm not familiar with that stuff, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
those are the two big, most popular theories of where they originate. So
interesting.
But yeah, a lot of people would argue that they are not the cause of the Bronze Age, but they are a symptom of the Bronze Age collapse.
Oh,
because they were fleeing, which actually makes sense with that second theory, because they were fleeing from, who knows what was going on in their lands.
Yeah, because that's, I think I recall having read at some point that, like, ultimately what a good guess is that a lot of these things kind of happened together and created, like, a cascading effect. And then also, like, a collapse like this we see it as happening overnight, but it really happens over like 150, 250 years. You know what I mean? So it's not like...
Yeah, we don't get the Hollywood, like...
Yeah.
Today is the day that society ended, yeah.
Yeah, it's like over 2 or 3 generations that, like, cities completely collapse. And so it's like... We think of it as, like Hollywood, but, you know, Chernobyl is a good example. There's people that still live there, and, like, it's still a city that people go to and see. But also, it's an abandoned city, and in, like, 200 years, nobody's going to be living there anymore, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is to say, I believe that ancient peoples developed nuclear technology, and there's a meltdown.
Hi, I'm with Netflix. Would you like to make a special?
Dude, I'm fucking telling you, I've got a hit here. Vikings had nukes. I'm telling you, dude.
We cannot explain this phenomena. The only reasonable explanations is that the Vikings had nukes. All right, another theory is climate catastrophe. Which caused, you know, severe famine across the lands.
That'll do it.
There are several pieces of textual evidence that support this. A written letter to Ramses II from Hittite queen asked the Egyptian ruler for emergency food, saying, "I have no grain in my lands." Another letter from a king in a Bronze Age city of Ugarit asks for barley and states that it is a matter of life and death.
Oof.
Sounds pretty serious. Yeah. So
sounds like a matter of life and death.
Yeah. The utmost seriousness, you might argue.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like this theory kind of revolves around climate catastrophe causing a giant famine because they couldn't grow food. Which totally makes sense, if they build up society enough and they can't grow the food.
Were they an agricultural civilization in the Bronze Age, or were they mostly hunter-gatherers? Because that's also, like, hunting and gathering has a pretty finite limit on land, you know what I mean?
That's true. I mean, I would maybe both. I mean, they were asking for grain and barley and stuff, that would lead me to think they are growing some type of food.
You've got to be. Yeah.
Probably a lot of fishing, too, yeah. But... and the third theory, earthquakes. It's an interesting theory.
Huh. That's cool.
It has there are many tectonic plates that meet around the Mediterranean. Some historians speculate that one huge volcanic event or a series of particularly dramatic earthquakes may explain why so many civilizations in this period were destroyed at the same time.
Well, and like
that's the other interesting thing is like not a single civilization really thrived for hundreds of years. Like all the big ones, they all fucking everywhere gone. Like it's kind of wild.
When did Pompeii blow up?
Way later.
Yeah.
And like the 1400s or some shit.
Because we have written history about that stuff. Yeah.
AD 79. Okay.
This is like 1200 BC.
Yeah. I'm just curious if, like, volcanoes or earthquakes or something that does.
So for those of you who haven't done the math, just to help, we're talking about like 3,200 years ago from now.
Right.
When we say 1200 BC, some people may not have caught.
I cannot, but can either of you guys contextualize that? Like, when else in civilization? Like, were the Greeks about to pop up, or were they a couple thousand years from popping up, or like what was happening around? Were we recently Neanderthals? I have no idea what's happening in history at this point. 1000 BC, like what's happening in Celtic tribes? They're still probably doing like tribal hunter-gatherer stuff, right?
Yes.
I don't know. You'd have to look it up.
I don't think they were really affected, but they weren't really involved in this. And
because they're on an island doing their own thing.
This is the
probably hadn't built up to that level at this point,
Yeah. So this is
like Chris. Do you know anything about this, or is this kind of early and out of your?
This is kind of out of it, but like when you talk about Greece, this is like the Mycenaeans, like before the classical Greeks, and like New Kingdom Egypt. So not really really old, but pretty old. So way back.
Okay, this is like when the Epic of Gilgamesh is getting written. Is that?
Probably pretty close to that. I don't know the about approximate year that was written, but I would say ish.
Okay, so is this like pretty much the first time we're getting into cities? Is that right? Does that sound about right?
I mean, you have.
Sorry, I know.
Well, they've built the cities up. No, I would say no, because at this point, there's cities all over, and they have a trade network going that's extensive.
Right.
Like
you have Egypt. You have
I would say cities have been around, a long time.
India, Indus River Valley, India.
It's not like society just started. Like this society's been around.
Right.
They're all trading with each other. There's tons of shipwrecks from this time period, so they know like there was a lot of commerce. Like, so it wasn't just like So,
Okay. Sorry, I know I'm harping on this. I'm just really, I don't know when this is, so I would love to know, like, maybe what's going on in China or Europe or whatever, but I guess not much.
Well, part of it is that we don't know. Like, that's part of the mystery is the written histories, a lot of it got destroyed and stops. So what happens from there to, like, when society starts back up a couple hundred years ago from then, like, people don't really know.
Fair.
It's a big archaeological mystery. Those are the main ones. The other one I read was that just warfare kind of exhausted all the resources and, like, split. It's kind of like, I guess, how one of the theories of the Roman Empire, they spread themselves too widely and couldn't support the whole network of what the fuck was going on, and it all just kind of died. Yeah.
That's a pretty classic tale in that area.
Aliens.
Or Vikings with nukes.
When it can't be explained, it's aliens. Vikings with nukes that they got
with
from
nukes.
aliens.
I can ride that train. Listen, I can if you can ride the Vikings.
Hey, I'm driving the
train.
Train. Hop on, dude.
If you can ride the Vikings with nukes train, I can ride the aliens gave them the nukes. You know what I mean?
If you can't explain it, it's the only answer. Yeah.
Okay, look, rune stones are known for being magical and glowing when you carve them. What else glows? Radioactive rocks.
This is undeniable scientific evidence.
Dude, it's fucking proof. It's right there. It's obvious.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'll be talking with Joe Rogan next week. Tune in to hear me.
Gotcha, bitch.
Okay.
Stupid science bitch couldn't even make I more smarter.
We're idiots.
But we're idiots together.
So
and that's what counts.
I don't really have a ton more. This is something I just looked up 15 minutes before the podcast, but something maybe someday to talk into a little more detail. Dive into one of the theories or something a little more.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Hit the like button, subscribe, and tell us below how you think the Bronze Age ended.
Bronze Age collapsed. That's perfect.
Yeah, gotta get that in there. Sorry, sponsors. We don't have sponsors.
So we did a midway episode. Chris, I want to pitch you another episode to do military history.
All right.
What do you know about the Second Punic War?
See, I'm not so much ancient warfare.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well, I'm going to pitch you that we take some time and study up on it. It's the war that Hannibal led his troops over the Alps into Rome, and then had 3 stunning military victories that are still studied in like military academies today because of their like genius strategies and tactics.
Okay.
So I was thinking maybe we could do an episode on that sometime on the back porch up here in Salt Lake when you come to visit.
Okay.
I just wanted to pitch that as a maybe idea for down the line.
Man, you're gonna make me learn.
Yep. You're gonna have to read a book or two.
It'd be fun to just sit and talk about all the things that we've talked about doing but never did, or like that we were gonna follow up on but we didn't.
Oh, dude! Speaking of
probably
which,
do over an hour
Clip show.
on that stuff.
Oh,
Clips go.
That would be a sick
Tell us
clip
below
show.
what we forgot that annoyed you.
Like and subscribe, and Oh, so I did look up. I got a little further in the process of the Guinness Book of World Records,
yes.
Which now that it's the new year, I'm
doing it,
actually,
people.
Yeah, I'm going to apply for a membership or whatever, and we're going to get in, and then we can peruse through actual records and look at a few things. But essentially, it seems like what we got to do is there's two ways to do it. We can either apply to have a judge come and do it live, or we can record video evidence and send in proof of that, which I looked up a few, and I'm actually... I guess I'm down to put in an hour or two into buying maybe 20 cans of alphabet soup and trying to speed sort the alphabet. I truly believe I can do that. I think it's like 2 minutes and 37 seconds.
That was just broken, right? That's a pretty recently broken record, I believe.
We discussed it recently.
Not that it can't be done, but yeah.
You guys
look it up.
You guys kill? Yeah. Give me a second.
Do you remember?
2 minutes and 8.6 seconds.
Do you remember if
literally a second?
So do you just have to alphabetize the letters that are in that specific can, or is it like finding A through Z and alphabetize? Like, what is it? Like, you know what I mean? What are the rules of this challenge?
I don't know. I don't know deeply enough to talk about it right now. What was your question? Right. What was the difference between?
Well, like, what are the rules of the challenge? Like, do you have to just alphabetize all of the letters that are in a can?
Oh no, you have to get A through Z.
Okay,
yeah,
you have to find A through Z and alphabetize.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is what I'm wondering, and this is why I say I would do like
you're
several
probably
cans.
Shit out of luck on some cans too. Like...
Yeah, there's got to be some cans that you're just shit out of luck. But also, you get how many letters do you think fit in a can? Because you got to figure, like, even the width of a can, that's like 20 letters or so could fit in there, and you stack that on top of each other, like 20, 40, 60, 80, 100.
That's a lot.
You've got a lot of letters.
Between 100 and 200, I would bet.
Do you think that they do when they make alphabet soup, do you think they produce the number of letters equally, like one of each letter? Or do you think they do it like Scrabble, like there's more vowels than consonants, so that you get a better chance to spell something in your alphabet soup? What would your guess be as professional alphabet soup makers?
That's a good question. I don't know. I think I almost have to, I guess.
Okay, so TikToker found out there's an average of about 1,200 letters in a can. That's a lot.
Hell yeah.
Let's say, hold on, there's 26 letters, so, and what is it, 2 minutes and 8 seconds?
Yeah.
Is that it? So,
yeah.
How much is that per, that's like...
Sorry, how many did you say per can? 1,200?
Rough. That's what my Google research of somebody on TikTok...
That's fine, yeah. 1,200,
so,
yeah. Just any number to work with. 1,200 a can... 25. We'll round down to 25.
Also, wouldn't it be? There's probably the biggest challenge is like finding like a Z. How do you tell a Z versus an M, or like a?
You got to find both.
You know
once you're looking at
well,
both,
like they probably look very, very similar. Like
yeah, but once you're looking at both side by side, you can be like, well, this one's shorter this way. Well, yeah,
I bet it'd be tougher than that. I bet it would be like something. Yeah, we'd have to practice. Like, okay. Every day you got to come home. Okay, this is what an N looks like. And this is
can it be a team thing too? Can we do it as a team?
Probably not.
It has to be as one person.
It's got to be an individual record. Yeah.
But can it be one person with spotters? Can you be like, look there, look there, look there, look there, look there?
I mean, when I looked up us doing a record. Well, hold on. When I looked up us doing a record, you have to submit an application for the record before anything, and then you have to have it like approved, and part of the approval is like them explaining the rules. So I would probably guess the answer is no, as far as people going like, yeah, there's that and that, like, but they would tell you this before they. Yeah, so we would definitely need to submit an application and get it like, yes, you can do this, and these are we should not just like, oh, we're going to break this record and try it, because I don't think they would accept it if we don't go through the correct process.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So basically, I looked at it when I was traveling over the holidays, which, by the way, I kind of want to complain about just my whole holiday break. I ended up sick the whole holiday break, and I'm sad about it. But anyways, so I was looking up the world record stuff, and they said it sounds like it's probably a pretty small team, because they were like, it'll be a couple days and we'll get back to you personally once you register. So I waited until the New Year's and until like people were back doing stuff. But yeah, essentially I can register us, and then what Walker was saying is we need to start figuring out stuff to apply for, which I'm down to apply for this and start figuring it out. I would love to try to meet up and do it live in person over a day or two with at least a couple of us, but I'm also down to pick out this.
Is there any other records you had on your sites, or was you like, okay, that's the one, I'm going to try it? Like,
there's a couple others I looked at cursorily. So the thing is, you have to realize that fucking kind of anything can be a record. So
that's the other thing. We could
if you can pitch it, we can do it. But you're like, hey, come up with a record. I'm like, I don't know, fucking sorting SpaghettiOs, like, I don't know, hacking computers.
Most
but another one. Okay,
most
so another one
multi-pitch rock climbs in a day.
I cannot beat that. I know.
Maybe
I don't know the
been
record.
Done.
I know what has been recorded as having been done so far, and I know I can't beat that. I don't know if they submitted it to the Guinness Book of World Records.
What is it about?
I'm pretty sure Alex Honnold recorded climbing 300 pitches for his 30th birthday.
Yeah, I guess when you don't use ropes, it's a pretty easy.
Yeah. So I don't think I can ever beat that.
I'm just trying to like think off the wall, you know. Like,
so one thing that I think we could do is the longest audio live stream, which I found, and I'll have to do more research.
We could get the fattest person to rock ever up a rock wall.
Or like the shortest person or something.
So what was the record for longest audio podcast or whatever? Probably like
the longest audio live stream, 53 hours.
Really? I thought it was like a radio show, and I was reading that a radio show in like the Netherlands had done a week-long show.
So
that was
it
an
audio
one.
live stream or was it a radio show? Because you can produce a radio show, but this was a live stream they did.
I don't know. I was looking up like podcast records, so it was like the longest podcast, and that's what came up. So
I looked up podcasts too, and there were several different like interpretations of it. So we'll have to look into it a little bit more.
would see that as one I would definitely be down for, because even if it's like multiple days, fuck it, that could be a fun like.
Dude,
planning it out, like, you know, you got to plan out guests and have segments, but like it
get
could be
like
done.
8 people. You have people sleeping,
and then
have that be like a segment.
It's a record we all share.
Yeah, that would be so sick. This is
I'm gonna guess
sleep segment.
I'm gonna guess sleeping is not gonna count, but
I don't know. You know what? As long as you have one person talking, you're still a podcast.
Maybe everybody has to be on air, so like I'd still have to sleep on air.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
But like while other people are doing shit, not just that. Like,
dude, there's definitely podcasts out there of people just sleeping. Some
there has
ASMR
to
shit.
because like if it's just longest podcast, I could just start pressing record and go fucking on a vacation for a week. Like there has to be rules about like.
I'm
you
sure
have to talk about a topic, like, you know what I mean? There has to be some type of, like, guidelines.
This is like Walker's existential crisis. There has to be rules. There has to be somebody telling me what's going on.
It's like the world's longest freestyle rap. Like, I could technically just be like, yo, and then stop for an hour and be like, and just say I'm rapping really slow. But that's obviously, they don't allow that because they have rules. Like,
okay. So here, I just Googled into the GuinnessWorldRecords.com website podcast. I got 22 results. First podcast, longest running movie podcast, most downloaded podcast, longest running technology podcast, longest running literature running, most
we're not going to break any of those.
For a podcast, largest attendance for a virtual podcasting conference in 1 week. I don't understand what that is. First podcast of the British Queen's Christmas message.
Okay.
That's a weird record. Most money raised on a podcast series in 1 year.
First, let's do the first podcast where all the hosts commit a felony on the air.
On the podcast? Okay. Yeah, longest audio-only live stream. The longest audio-only live stream is 53 hours, 1 minute, achieved by Matt Hall and Dan Ramsden in Bradford, UK, from 24th to 26th July 2020. They took on the record challenge for the 100th episode of their podcast, Rich in Success, which is about inspiring people that anything is possible when you put your mind to it and to educate people on how to live happier, healthier, and more fulfilled lives. The attempt was also used to raise money for 2 charities important to Matt and Dan. We could totally crush that, and we could make the message to be about fuck those guys.
2 days.
Like, that could be the whole point.
It's like 2 days and some change.
53 hours. Yeah. We could kill that, dude. I could stay up for that.
If we end up doing that, I gotta fucking cut this moment right here of us. Oh yeah, we could do that, and then like clips of us like on hour 42
hour
and 50 and being like, oh yeah, that's super interesting.
It sucks ass.
Yeah, I'm so tired.
Well, here's the other thing: if we're gonna beat it, I would want to try to crush it too. I wouldn't want to like.
53 hours
by like an hour. Fuck that. I want to beat that record by like an extra day if possible. So they're like, like.
So yeah, there's no, they got to really think about it.
Or, I mean, beat the record and then just keep going as long as possible. Really, I guess. But
yeah, I think we could do that one. I really do think we could.
I think that, yeah, totally. Because skill wise, there's nothing preventing us from doing it. We just have. It's just the determination. Yeah.
You gotta have grit, boy.
Yeah. I'm in, dude. I think. I don't know. I wonder if YouTube would let me upload a 53+ hour video.
So I did get to thinking about it. We do have to nail down. We do have to nail down the technical aspect. Like we can't fuck up.
You mean like connectivity issues, you mean?
Yeah. You can't get 48 hours in and your fucking signal drops on your Wi-Fi.
Oh my god. No, if we were doing this, I would be like Ethernet cabled in the entire time. Fuck
we would
that.
have to do some redundancy and shit, yeah. But that's another thing. Could we just record it as both and then rip the audio off of it and then it's an audio-only live stream? Well, I guess we have to ask them.
I would wonder what their definition of a live stream is. That's where I would wonder, like, because like we're not doing
because
a live
I'd like
stream,
to record the video, but
a lot like. So I think if for it to be a live stream too, this would have to be something that people could like tune into and watch while we're doing
live streaming.
Yeah,
live, huh?
Fuck, dude, I would definitely need to update, increase the package I'm paying for on this this hosting platform to get more hours.
Dude, can't kick it off the way we kicked off this podcast app.
No.
Cool, this is we'll be right back in.
I'm cutting a lot of that at the beginning. Fuck that.
Dude, Chris and I were talking about there's some that we hope you don't cut because they're so fucking comedically timed.
Oh, the last couple, because I was explaining. Oh yeah, it's gonna be fun. Like,
dude, they're so fucking funny. Yeah.
No, I wasn't gonna put those, but like the first couple minutes of like, wait, hold up, I'm gonna cut all that shit. Nobody wants to hear that.
Like I said, listen through it because there's some perfectly timed.
Some of it, but nobody's gonna sit. People are gonna stop and click off the video if it's going on for like 3-4 minutes. They're not gonna watch that or listen to that.
Dude, that's
so having maybe 30 seconds or so or a minute of like, oh yeah, the technical issues. That's fine.
That's fair.
Does that make sense?
Anyways, my point is on the 50. Well, I guess not 53. On the 70-hour one, None of that shit's happening.
We could also try to break other records during our longest podcast. That could be like a...
That would be cool.
You could do the alphabets. You could sit there the whole time and try to break the soup record the whole time. We'll just be like, all right, we're going to check back in with Scout. And you'll be like, God damn it. Just,
fuck
no.
No, Z. God damn it.
Well, if there's 1,200 letters in a can, I would think there
has to be
every letter's
set
in there. Yeah,
that's what I'm saying, dude.
Statistically, that makes sense. Unless they're, I don't know. Is it expensive to make a queue or something? You know, like
maybe, oh shit.
Maybe they don't want to press the queues or something.
I should go talk to some alphabet soup companies. That's definitely a company. Somebody makes alphabet soup.
I mean, if you want to do this, dude, you're definitely going to have to do some training and practice. You're not just going to be able to open a can and do it. I think you're sorely mistaken if you think it's that easy.
Okay. Is this a sport? Does this count as a sport?
I would argue that anything in the Guinness World Record could be a sport because you're competing against other people. You're competing against all humanity to be the best.
I hear you. Something...
Well, that's a debate for another time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
no, I'm just
like we
I'm
said
not
before.
trying to shit on you. I'm just like, I just want to play devil's advocate.
Like,
on it, you know.
Oh, and I totally understand the devil's advocate side, and I won't argue that it's necessarily wrong. Personally, I just think my life is more fun when I have a loose definition of what a sport is. It makes it more.
Very true.
You know, everything's a lot more. Every form of competition is a lot more interesting when I think about it that way.
Very true.
Yeah. It'd be funny to get a doctorate of kind of like I'm the Graham Hancock and we get like a sports scientist to debate me about why I'm an idiot.
Dude, that would be cool. I mean, there has to be, what are they, kinesiologists? What are sports scientists?
There's a
good bettors?
A lot of...
Vegas bookies?
A lot of avenues to it, I would say.
Yeah.
Let's see. I got a funny. We've been going for a little over an hour. I got a funny story to end on. You guys will get a kick out of this. So this story's from 2015, but I could find no updates, so I'm going to assume it's still happening because it's hilarious if it is. So the story is someone has been shitting in the holes of a Norwegian golf course for over 10 years. A mystery man that we think has been pooping with no remorse on a Norwegian golf course for 10 years.
I'm going to take a hard stance and say I support the man.
Oh.
I support the pooper.
You guys want to hear some details about it?
Oh, please.
It's been happening for a long time. Yeah. So... Beginning in 2005, groundskeeper Kenneth Tenfjord claims a mystery person has been pooping in the holes at Stavanger Golf Club.
That's him.
With little to no remorse, and this person has not stopped.
It's him. It's Kenneth. It's that guy.
So these are that would be the ultimate marketing, the ultimate marketing ploy to get people to come. All right. Yeah. So the article writer asked him some questions. Do they know the gender of the pooper? What do you guys think? If you had to guess, who would you say?
I would say they can't tell. No, they can't tell.
You don't think they can tell? All right, if you had to guess, man or woman.
Man.
Yeah, definitely. I would
obviously
put tons of money on a man doing that. They said not 100%, but the assumption is it is a man. Because the poos are too massive to be from a woman.
Because they're fucking shitting on a golf course.
Come on,
you don't definitely a dude.
You don't think women can lay a massive shit? That's sexist, man. They're saying only men can lay big turds.
Dude, I wonder if it is like scientifically proven that women lay smaller shits. It could be like just a fact.
It could be. Does he have a favorite hole? Does he have a favorite hole on the course to poop in?
Oh yes, and it's the 7 hole.
You think so? They don't. It doesn't say which ones, but it says that he has a couple of favorite holes. Yes, he definitely has favorites. Does he have a regular schedule?
No.
He poos only on weekdays.
How have they not caught this person?
Only on weekdays. Oh, they've tried. We're gonna get into that. On weekends, they've never found any poo on the golf course. It's only weekdays. So he's a weekend warrior. Has the club done anything to counteract the pooping menace? Here we go. Yes, the club installed... They actually tried to install cameras, but they were not legally allowed to do that. So they did install high-powered spotlights to discourage the defecation, but the poop-itrator disabled them.
Oh. It's me.
So apparently they
not
said
ethical, though.
They said apparently what he did was they think that he climbed up into a tree next to where the lights were set up, wriggled far out into a branch, and dismantled the spotlights, and then pooped from the branch down onto the green.
Wow.
Does anyone have any theories or possible motives? What do you guys think? Do you think this guy's a motive?
I think he hates the golf course.
Hates
the golf course. Yeah, I think
probably
the golf
hates
course.
I
think they fucked him over. They took his property or something, or
maybe. Our idea is that it could be someone who, for unknown reason, hates the game of golf. They also say it could be a person that has a fetish or suffers from mental problems.
I mean, maybe.
Too targeted for that.
Yeah, it's stick to golf. You're no psychiatrist.
Yeah. And if they just hated golf, then it would be more spread out. They would target more golf, avenues. They would target more places. You know what I mean?
Oh my god. Go ahead.
Please, can we psychologically profile this guy? Number one, this man, white male, age 36 through 42.
He must have gone to see the therapist from Rick and Morty. That's a deep cut joke for anybody who got that one.
Great joke, dude.
Oh yeah, she helps people stop eating poop in the show.
Dude, and the way Summer's like, there are people eating poop in this book, and she just takes it and folds it closed and continues with therapy. It's fucking perfect.
So, to finish off this article, is the question asked, is there perhaps some beautiful imagery about the whole pooping on a golf course for over a decade thing? And the person said this: in the early morning dew, we observed bicycle tracks on the course. Footsteps showed that he had done his business, and the bicycle tracks had disappeared back the way that they came. And that's the last we've heard of the golf course pooper. This article is from 2015, and I found a couple Reddit posts kind of trying to get updates, but I could not verify if they had caught this guy or if this had stopped since then.
This was in Norway, you said?
In Norway, yeah.
I'm down to go do a vacation in Norway one summer, Chris, and find the Phantom Pooper.
Play a round of golf there.
Yeah.
It would be super cool to do a podcast with the Phantom Pooper in the middle of the night. Just be like, hey, I don't want to reveal your identity. I just we just found you.
We have his voice disguised and everything to sound all creepy.
Yeah. We'll disguise your voice.
Yeah.
We just want to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've had some good poops. I would actually love to talk with. It'd be a cool podcast to do an episode about good poops I've had, good places I've pooped, and enjoyable things about pooping. Pooping's a cool experience, and I do it a lot.
Yeah, you think our listeners really want to hear about your poops and how much you enjoyed them, huh?
I think they want to hear about all of our poops, dude.
Yeah.
You don't think a poop episode would hit? Listeners, blow up Walker if you think a poop episode would hit.
Let me know in the comments. Subscribe, and let me know in the comments if you want to hear us talk about our poop.
Slide into Walker's DMs if you want to hear about some poops. Slither on in there. We'll do some poop talk.
What if the ultimate ploy here is that I am the golf course pooper?
You just totally made up that article. I go to research it, and I actually can't.
Oh, it's
anything.
Real. Look at it.
It's all Kaiser Soze. Norway isn't even a country.
Ancient poopocalypse.
I'm not saying nuclear Vikings did it, but
I take delight in telling everyone of my crimes without getting caught.
Is it a fetish thing? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's like I poop in the golf course holes and you fuck bread.
Exactly, dude.
Callback.
Dude, a way to ring in the new year perfectly.
Oh, yeah. Another callback. It'd be fun to interview the poop guy, and then also the guy who wrote the book about fucking a dolphin.
Guy.
Big time callback. If you guys remember that, you're a true OG listener, because that was like one of the first episodes where that got brought up.
Is there a world record for, like, interviewing bestiality people or something? We could break that.
Well, I don't know. Like, so part of the probably
most
not.
People who would fuck a dolphin in a room.
But it seemed part of the research into doing a record. It seemed that if you can come up with something that hasn't been done and can submit a reasonable proposal, they'll be like, yeah, sure. So definitely, also not like something to think about. Because like those are even easier because then you don't have a record to beat. Like you set the record.
That's what I'm saying. Can we just take a few minutes at the end of this podcast to each pitch a crazy record that we could break?
We're at the end of the podcast, I think, about.
Yeah,
I don't got anything else to talk about, do you?
Nope. No.
So what is now? What's your...
All right.
You got an idea?
No. Give me 10 seconds.
All right. Peanut butter, jelly, cliffs, and... Soccer.
Peanut butter, jelly,
There's something there.
Okay,
most peanut butter and jellies eaten while standing on top of a cliff, juggling a soccer ball.
Could you do that? Could you do that?
Could I do that? Oh yeah, I could do that.
You would stand on top of a cliff juggling a soccer ball? That would fucking scare the shit out of
me. Eating as many peanut butter jelly sandwiches as possible. There you go. There's a record right there.
Okay.
And then alternative record, stupidest death ever, if it doesn't work.
Okay, so this is a record that you might die doing. I understand now. What about Tums eaten in a like single mouthful or something?
That's a good. Like how many Tums you could put in your mouth?
How many Tums can you put in your mouth before you chew and then swallow?
If it hasn't been done, we could do it. But I'm going to guess that would also get broken extremely quickly. Because there's some people with some big mouths out there. A lot big. Yeah. I have a small mouth. I would not be the good person for that.
But here's the thing about Tums, though, is that it's so chalky. There's going to reach a point when you, like... You know what the nutmeg challenge and shit, the cinnamon challenge? You like,
yeah.
Tums, there's a point.
I take it back. That would be the stupidest way to die. That would be the
That would fucking suck.
He choked on a bunch.
He choked on Tums.
He put too many Tums in his mouth and it drained all the moisture, and he choked on it.
And not just choked. He choked on Tums, setting a world record.
Dude, all right. I'm connecting ideas here.
Okay.
This is how we come up with this.
Okay.
Most deaths while attempting world records on the longest podcast ever recorded. Boom.
All right, audience, we're going to need you to reach out. We need a lot of volunteers.
I got to give myself a round of applause for that one. Yeah. Yeah. It's an idea right there.
Dude, it's an idea and a half.
Is it a good one? Is it a bad one? Who's to say?
That remains to be seen. We'll find out next week.
Most paper cuts on your body in an hour.
I don't like.
No?
What about, like, most dogs petted in a row?
I feel like the challenge there is going to be getting dogs. Like,
oh, yeah, for sure. Definitely. Most dogs petted in a day, maybe?
I'm not going to say that. No. A really, really dark one. I'm not even going to get there.
What about, like, eating's one you can do? I don't want to eat spicy stuff because that'll fuck you up, but, like...
We could do eating ones. I personally am not going to... I don't think I would be a good candidate to do an eating challenge, personally.
Probably not, no.
Yeah, I agree. Honestly.
I just have a shit stomach, and
you don't love eating,
I get full quickly, and I don't like spicy stuff. I'm not a good person for food challenges.
You've also expressed to me before, interestingly, which I would love to discuss in another episode, that you view food as like fuel for the body. You've said that before. Like it goes in and it burns.
Yeah, you are what you eat, dude. Yeah.
No, I totally agree with that, but also like
scientific facts.
No, I totally agree. I just love food so much. It's such a part of my psychology that it's hard to imagine viewing food that way, you know?
I mean, it's not... You can still view it that way and
happy.
Still enjoy it. Like, I don't think that you can necessarily saying you take the joy out of it, seeing it that way.
Yeah, that's
There's
true.
better fuels than others, yeah. Have you ever seen Parks and Rec? There's a funny scene with Andy from that show where he's talking about, dude, I just learned that food is energy. Pizza! That was an apple! And he's just like doing stuff.
He's
and
just like doing karate or whatever.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Dude, that show is great.
Definitely.
I love that show.
Good sitcom. Well, yeah, Chris, what's your what record idea?
I'd have to think about it, to be honest.
Longest
Christmas tree left up.
You beat me to it.
People already leave their trees up all year round. So
yeah, there's no way he would be able to beat that.
What's the longest that they've left it up? 2 years? 5 years? 10 years?
See,
he could beat it.
The thing is,
could beat it.
Other people may have left a tree up longer, but if they didn't contact the Guinness Book of World Records and get it verified, then that has not happened.
It doesn't fucking count, baby.
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
Chris, I'll help you leave your tree up for the rest of your life, dude. That would be sick as fuck.
Another one, most ornaments put on a tree. That could be a fun one.
That'd be a cool one.
Yeah.
Dude, doing a Christmas tree decorating one would be sick.
Yeah. There's some ideas.
Okay, that's all I'm saying is if we're going to continue on and do this, we just need to keep pitching ideas. We need to keep the engine greased, you know? That's all I'm saying.
I could see how many times I can juggle a soccer ball while dangling from a rope.
Dude.
Can we not focus on death?
Well, I'm attached to a rope. There's no death.
Most times you can juggle a soccer ball while getting shot at with a rifle. All right, go! 1, bang! 1. He got 1. Is that the record?
Sorry, the record's 2. Fuck!
Fuck! Oh, man.
But yeah,
well, thanks for joining us, listeners.
Longest podcast, the alpha, and I also love that, you know, as part of filling time, attempting some shit while we're doing that would be.
Oh, dude, I definitely wanted to do the alphabet soup. I'll dig into it.
I guess we could do separate videos, but wasn't that one record for the 53 hours? That's an audio only live stream, so we
live stream it.
We would not have video for that. Yeah.
Let's check with the team because maybe we can split it too. Because we could submit that for the audio live stream and then also submit it for a non-audio live stream. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I said, I would be curious what their rules are going to be for that. Because I'm sure there's a lot of specifications.
I will look into that one and the alphabet soup one for sure.
Hell yeah.
And I'm going to add alphabet soup to my grocery list.
Hell yeah.
Time to start training. Okay, New Year's resolution. I know I said that stuff about hacking and that'd be cool and all, but what I really want to do is devote my life to alphabet soup.
Get in the Guinness Book of World Records. That's our podcast resolution. All right. I'll make it even better. Attempt to get into the Guinness Book of World Records. Make a genuine attempt to get in. That's going to be our SMART goal.
That's doable.
For the podcast.
Oh, yeah. I'm here. I think we'll do it.
Make one genuine attempt where we put all of our effort in to try to break a world record.
I think we'll do it. I think we should just go ahead and resolve to do it.
And if you're listening right now, you're in on the ground floor of this train of fame and fortune. Probably not fortune, but...
This year, 100 episodes, 9 more seasons. We're doing it. We're going all the way. Recording every week, getting into the Guinness Book of World Records. We're doing it, Morty.
That brought up another interesting record idea. Most podcast episodes released in a year or something, like, you know what I mean? Or in a week.
Oh, dude, holy shit.
Well, it might not have been done. Like, that's the thing. I don't know. Like, I never remember seeing that one, so... Yeah. We'll do some more brainstorming, but I think we got some good ideas. if you have an idea, let us know down in the comments, please. Or text one of us if you're listening to this show. You probably have our phone number. And if you don't, ask in the comments below, and I'll give it to you.
We'll probably give it to you.
It's gonna be really sad when nobody comments anything in this comment section.
Most podcast hosts self-doxed in an episode.
Quickest identity stolen intentionally. All right. Well, I guess that about does her. We've been going for quite a while.
Yeah.
Good
episode for you.
We talk about the Bronze Age, New Year's resolutions, people pooping at the mystery pooper of the Norwegian golf course who is still at large. Watch your backs. If you live near a golf course, watch out.
In Norway.
And if you live in Norway and you're going to the golf course, specifically the one we talked about, I forgot the name.
Careful.
Make sure you're very careful when you reach into the hole to get your ball out, because you might get a giant pile of crap. And on that note, I think we're gonna roll out here, right?
Good night.
Yeah, I'll just play the video at the end. I'm gonna put the intro video there. Peace.